Load the file for Santa's bag and stitch the placement lines on a piece of stabilizer. You will notice there's a line going through here. This section right here, we need to cut a piece of fabric that fits within that section. So what I did was I cut something about that size and I put the straight edge here. And then I'm using this mark and this mark as a guide to mark the fabric. And now I'm just going to trim that. The width of the fabric, and by the way, the stretch is going this way, so the tops to the bag, the stretch is going to go long ways. And I'm just making sure there's a box here. We want to make sure that our piece of fabric is long enough to where we have about 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 an inch overlap here, because we are going to be folding this inward like so, so that it is the exact width of this mark. Let's go ahead and cut the other fabric. You should have 2 pieces of white fabric. I'm just going to cut a piece of this. This is double-sided adhesive tape, so it's sticky on both sides and it doesn't need to be ironed. So I'm just going to cut a piece about yay long, and I'm also going to cut it in half. I'm going to put the adhesive on the edge of my fabric and smooth it down. And then I'm going to peel off the backing. That exposes the adhesive. So now it's going to be very sticky. So now we're just going to fold that over and press. I'm just going to repeat that for both pieces, and I'm going to make sure that I am checking the placement mark here so that my width is the exact width of this mark. There's another one here. now you should have two pieces that are folded with the tape to the wrong side. Now we're just going to take it to the embroidery machine and stitch a tack down line. Here is the first tack down line, and then there was a second one to stitch this side down. So now I'm just going to remove the tape. Now we're just going to cut a piece of fabric that is generously going to cover the overall box, lengthwise and widthwise. So I'm just going to lay my fabric. So I can see that the nap, I want to pay attention to that, because ultimately we want the nap to go this way. So then we are going to flip the fabric upright like this towards the edge of the hoop, and what we are doing is we're covering these placement lines. So we're going to tape the fabric here, wrong side down, wrong side up, right side down, so it covers our tabs. I'm going to take this to the embroidery machine and stitch a tack down line. I have stitched the tack down line here. Let's remove the tape and trim this fabric. Spray some temporary spray adhesive on this side of the hoop. And I'm going to place a scrap of stabilizer here. And that's because we have the word Santa is going to be embroidered on this side. So we just need some extra stabilizer. And more glue. And over here as well. And now we're just going to flip the fabric down. I'm going to place pins in the far corners just while we embroider Santa's name. place a piece of water soluble stabilizer over top of the minky fabric, and then we're going to go stitch Santa's name. Okay, now you can see that I've stitched the embroidery Santa as well as a basting line. So we're just going to remove this topper. We're going to remove the pins because they are going to be in the way, but we have a different place we can pin. Now we're just going to peel up this side. So I'm just going to snip any threads that are going to prevent me from making a clean release. I'm just going to peel it up just like this. So you're just going to peel it up until it catches on this basting stitch. And we are going to align the seams here and then pin it in place on these two edges. Now we're going to take it to the embroidery machine and stitch the final tack down. Here is the final tack down line. You can see I almost didn't have enough fabric. So just be mindful of that your fabric is going to cover this bottom line. I think it's going to be okay. So we're just going to remove it from the stabilizer. And now we're just going to trim on the, well, in my case, only two sides, but you would trim all the way around. Now we're just going to remove the stabilizer on the reverse side, and then we will turn it right side out. We're just going to turn the bag right side out. This is not a lined bag. It's just meant to be something really fast and simple. So now it should look like this. I'm just going to use a safety pin. I have a length of ribbon here, so you can do this two ways. You can have ribbon that goes in this hole, through the channel, out, right back into this one, all the way through. So you have two tails over here, and you would knot them. Put a knot in them, and then you would reverse that with a second piece of ribbon and enter through this side, go through the channel, out here, right back into here through this channel, so that you would have two tails over here, and you would put a knot in those so that when you draw the strings, it would close the bag. A second thing you can do is you can just put the ribbon through this channel around. You just basically just do it one time, which is what I am going to do. I'm going to make it so I can tie a bow on the side. So I'm just going to let this whole length of ribbon, I'm not going to cut it so that I can work with it. So you just put a safety pin through the end of the ribbon, and then you feed it through the channel. And then I'm going to go right back into the back casing. So now all that's left is to pull the bag tight and tie a bow. And there you have Santa's little treat bag. If you were gifting Santa Claus to someone, you could fill this with Christmas candy and it would be a cute little Christmas present. Candy cane sticking out. But that is Santa's treat bag all finished, and that completes our tutorial for Santa Claus. So we have made him, and we've made his hat, his Christmas trees, as well as now his Santa bag. And you can go and make yours now. Thank you for watching the tutorial.